there's a fire inside you. There's a fire inside you that has been dimmed, almost taken out. But this particular fire, because you're still breathing, because you're still here, because you're listening or watching me, there's fire inside of you. My goodness, what a revelation. You've got to dig deep and find that fire and rekindle that fire. And the only way you can do that, you can't do it by just sitting. You can't do it by just not doing anything. You can't do it by, you can't rekindle that fire that's inside of you if you're not doing anything, if you're not exposing yourself, if you're not reading books, if you're not doing things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Today's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast is brought to you by the Adams Group Agency, developing final expense leaders.
Hello, family. Welcome to episode 23 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I am your host, Helen Blocker Adams, and I'm so glad to be with you today. And I tell you what, I'm still fired up. I'm still fired up about AI. Did you all listen to last week's episode? Did you? Oh my goodness. If you didn't, you have got to go back and listen to episode 22. Where I talked about dreams and the power of AI. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I got across, and I really hope I did, and if you didn't, you need to listen to it over and over and over again so that it can get into your psychic, get into your mindset that AI is not the boogeyman. And I want to, in today's episode, share some tools. There are a lot of AI tools that you all, depending on what industry you're in, depending on what you're doing, depending on what you want to do, depending on where you want to go, that you can integrate in whatever you're doing and make it better and utilize an AI tool, and you don't even realize you're using an AI tool. And once you do realize that it's an AI tool, you're like, oh my goodness, this is not such a bad thing after all. You know, last week we talked about the fact that AI may be taking some jobs, but it may be creating jobs. And we've got to change that mindset. Do you know with the mindset, everything starts there? Everything starts in your mind. Dr. Miles Monroe, he does teaching. He has done teachings over the years, dealing with mindset. What's on your mind? What's on your mind is what you're going to focus on. What's on your mind is what you're going to focus on. If your mind is negative, man, you're not going to get along with me too hot. Me and negative don't do good together. It's like oil and water. It's like once you put a little bit of water and oil, you see how that water just spits away and splatters away. It's like, oh, no, I don't want to touch that oil. No. Negative and positive doesn't work together. Now, I think with batteries, negative and positive may work in some way. I'm not a technician or anything, but when it comes to our mindset, folks, positive is the way to go. And I know, yeah, somebody's out there saying, okay, but how can you be positive in all situations? Now, yes, I know it's hard, and we don't have to be walking around, everything's so good and great and wonderful. No, I'm not talking about that. But in your heart, in your mindset, you've got to realize that we've got a God that's in control of everything. And if you stay close to him, close to his word, I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel a little bit more secure in this wild world that we live in. And it's going to help you stay positive too. But that mindset and positivity, they go hand in hand if you really want to move and exceed and go to new levels in your life. And last week, when we talked about AI and the power and the impact of AI as it relates to moving forward, as it relates to the world and what's going on, we've got to embrace it. We've got to embrace it. We've got to leverage it. We've got to embrace it. We can't be afraid of it. And once we do grasp that, even if it's just a little bit at a time, I'm telling you, things can be a little bit different for you. Okay. So when we talk about mindset, I want to remind you of the masterclass that I'm having. And this masterclass is going to take place in 4 Mondays in the month of September, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on Zoom. It's a $99 course that's going to focus on, the title of it is Fall Hard, Rise Harder. Fall hard, rise harder. Now, I know some of you have had some tough times, whether it's losses, financial losses, loss of a close loved one, fired or terminated from your job for no reason, downsized, right sized. I mean, there's so many buzzwords out there as it relates to people losing their jobs, and there's companies closing every day, and a lot of you may be impacted. Even in the government, it's like nothing is secure anymore. Nothing is secure anymore. So when you think about where you are and where you would like to go, and who you're going to lean on in order to get from point A to point Z, folks, you've got to have a foundation. The foundation is God, your relationship with God and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now, those of you who have different religions and so forth, there's still a higher power that you believe in. And that's what you got to wrap your arms around. And while you're doing that, then that can give you that firm, solid foundation so that you can get from day to day. Some of you are just kind of winging it. I don't want you to wing it anymore. I don't want you to wing it. I want you to think more strategically about your life. Last week, I talked about the power of journaling and how I use journaling as a way to share my feelings and my concerns, and then be able to realize, next week and the week after, your concerns are not as bad as it looked and felt 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so when we talked about dreams, we talk about dreams and the power and the impact of AI, and the fact that the dreams that you have, God's given you those dreams. What are you doing with them? Are they sitting on a shelf collecting dust? Do you have any dreams at all? Why are you here? How do you even determine what your dreams are? Sit down and ask these questions. Here's a strategy that you can use in terms of researching and digging. I like to research. I like to ask questions. I like to probe. I like to dig deeper. I like to find out why. I've always been that way. I was that student in school that loved to sit on the front row. I was the one who raised my hand and asked questions while I can hear the kids in the back row snickering, knowing that they wanted to know the answers to the same questions that I was bold enough to ask. I didn't have a problem with asking questions in school, and someone else in the background saying, well, they didn't know that, or that sure was a stupid question. No, 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 no. The stupid question is the one that you don't ask. Okay. Sometimes as adults too, our pride gets in the way that we don't want to ask questions, especially openly, because we don't want to seem like, we are not intelligent. We don't know it all. And so in order to know whatever it is that you need to know and get information on, you got to ask questions. So I'm going to raise my hand and ask questions, and I'm going to research and I'm going to find out. So here's some things you can do is when you're trying to find your way, when you're trying to decide, what is going to be my next step. Maybe you're at a point in your life where that next step is a new career, resetting and reinventing yourself, to a new career. And you're probably wondering, what is it that I want to do? That's where you write things down and go into chat GBT and start asking some questions. Okay. And then some other things you can do is ask, who, what, why, when, and where. Who, what, why, when, and where. All those things come into play when you're trying to decide what's going to be your next step. And then as you ask those questions, you want to focus on the fact that, can I get better? How can I enhance my skills? How can I get to the next step? What is it that I need to do? And that's where those probing questions come into play. And so when I talk about this master class, and this master class is going to help you because many of us have fallen hard, but I want to let you know that you can get back up. And you can get back up with a smile. You can get back up stronger than ever. And this master class is going to help you do that. I'm going to share some strategies. I'm going to share from my personal experiences, some things that will make you go, I hadn't thought about that before. And then try it. And then the next week, we can talk about some of the things that you've done and applied from the information that I've shared. And I want to hear the success stories. This is going to be such a powerful masterclass. You need to register. Okay. So what I want you to do is send me an email to reset to reinvent at gmail.com. Reset to reinvent at gmail.com. And when you do that, we will send you the link so that you can register. We will send you the flyer that has all of the information on this master class. And see, I want to see you better. This personal development that we all have to do, I don't care if you're 22, 42, 62, or 72. There are things that we can do to enhance ourselves, invest in yourselves. And so, I get a lot of emails with positive affirmations, positive things that that expand my mind. And I love to be able to read them. And sometimes I can apply them. Sometimes they make sense. Sometimes I can relate with them. And I'm going to share something with you. And I want to see what you think about this. And this is Wisdom by Plutarch. And that's Plutarch. Wisdom by Plutarch. And here's what it says. Now we're still talking about and making sure that you're embracing this whole AI phenomenon. It is phenomenal as well. Okay. It is pretty phenomenal. It's a bit overwhelming. Yes, I know, but just eat a little bit at a time. Taste a little bit at a time in this whole AI arena. And it is a revolution. That's one of the things that Alicia Littles, the queen of AI, says. It's a revolution. It is. It's revolutionary the way we're able to do things quicker, more efficiently, streamline. And I talked about a lot of that in last week's episode 22. So you got to go listen to it so you can get all of the details of what I talked about. But let's go back to this wisdom. Okay, this wisdom, it says the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Oh, there's a fire inside you. There's a fire inside you that has been dimmed, almost taken out. But this particular fire, because you're still breathing, because you're still here, because you're listening or watching me, there's fire inside of you. Oh my goodness. What a revelation. You've got to dig deep and find that fire and rekindle that fire. And the only way you can do that, you can't do it by just sitting. You can't do it by just not doing anything. You can't do it by, you can't rekindle that fire that's inside of you if you're not doing anything, if you're not exposing yourself, if you're not reading books, if you're not doing things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone. That fire inside you is there. And I'm so excited for you. And over the weeks and weeks with this podcast, I'm going to help you find those. I'm going to help you find and develop that fire. You just got to keep watching. You got to keep listening. And who knows what will come out of Reset to Reinvent podcast and some of the things that we're planning and some of the books that I'm going to be writing and some of the books that I've already written. Speaking of books, go to my website, resettoreinvent.com. And then click on Reinvent Store. And I've got plenty of books there. I've got, four books. One of them deals with mental toughness. Another one deals with leadership. So there's a few books on there that I encourage you to go and read, because if we're going to rekindle that fire, and some of you may feel like, no, that fire is not in me. No, if you're still breathing, that fire is still in you. I'm telling you, it's still there. And that's so exciting, because who knows, maybe AI might be the match, might be the strike, might be the what's needed to strike that kindle, to rekindle that fire that's in you. Maybe years ago, there are some things that you wanted to do, but you had children and you focused all your energies and your time with raising your children, which is a beautiful thing. But now they're out. They're gone off to college, having their own families. And now you, either whether you're single, divorced, widowed, or if you're married, you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with my time? Not necessarily the job. The job is one thing, but that fire that's inside you, there's something else that God wants you to do. And it's a matter of something that's on the inside. And I don't know what that is, but once you start reading books and listening intently to people that are saying things to you, and maybe you just haven't been paying that much attention, but you have to be intentional. You've got to ask those questions: who, what, why, where, and when. Okay, so maybe you can do this. What is the fire inside of me? Where is the fire inside of me? What is it that I've been wanting to do, but I've pushed it back so far that, I have to dig deep and find out what that is. You've got to find some quiet time and figure it out. And the thing about it is, it's all about you. And sometimes it can include, in this quest, in this research, asking people close to you. Asking people, I know I do that a lot. I have a small circle, And that circle of people are people who know me. They know my heart. And I can ask them specific questions to help me get a little bit closer to where it is I feel like God wants me to be. And sometimes along that journey, you don't know every step. And that's where that groundedness in God will help you have that faith to say, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. I haven't fallen yet. Or if I did fall, which many of us have, and I have a lot, but I tell you what, I don't stay down very long. No, no, no. I'm ready for the next thing. I'm like, okay, yep, got my feelings hurt. Yeah, I'm bruised up a little bit, but I brushed off those bruises and straightened my clothes up, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. While you are breathing, you have to be ready for the next thing. There's a fire in you. There's a fire inside you. And I want you to find it. And the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. So all of it takes place in your mind. This is a mind thing, guys. When we talked last week about the fact that that mindset has to change and not be negative about AI, but turn it into a positive, you have to do it because AI is here to stay in our generation, 10, 20, 30 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. It's going to be another phenomenon. That's the way it works. And this is going to enhance us in another way. It's going to push us out of our comfort zone. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I love to be, I don't know if love is the right term, but I do like to be pushed out of my comfort zone sometimes. And then when you do, it's like, okay, all right. So identify, what are your comfort zones? We're trying to find that fire inside of you. Okay, that fire inside of you. There is fire in you. There is fire in you that I want you to rekindle. And as you're watching and listening to this, I want you to just kind of reflect. What is it that you've been wanting to do that you kind of put to the back burner? Or you're waiting for the right time, or you're waiting until you retire. You're waiting until you have enough money in your bank account. You're waiting for the perfect storm, the perfect scenario. Don't do that. Because that perfect scenario, that perfect place is a figment of your imagination. It's not there. At some point, you just got to step out, rekindle that fire, focus on that mindset, attend my masterclass, send me an email to reset2reinvent@gmail.com. I promise you, you will not disappoint it. I'm going to have so many goodies for you. It's just going to be unbelievable to help you get past that fall so that you can rise, harder than you fell. Sounds like a oxymoron, doesn't it? But I tell you what, wait till you come to the course, to the master class, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So do you remember a song by Alicia Keys? She's one of my favorite singers. I love her. I love her. I love her. Remember that song, This Girl Is on Fire? And when I thought about this topic, and when I thought about some of the things that I wanted to talk about as it relates to fire, the fire within you, the fire in you, and how it ties in with your mindset and being positive, and then tying in with the positivity of AI and how we've got to embrace AI in a way that's going to enhance your life, okay? Enhance and make your life better and more streamlined and do things more than what you've ever been able to do before, and tap into that mindset. And so the fire in you, when I thought about Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire, Girl on Fire, go back and listen to the lyrics. Now, I remember when that song came out, whenever it was hot. I mean, it was, and naturally, girls, women really resonated with it. And she talked about how this girl is on fire, and it didn't matter. As a matter of fact, I went in and I looked at the lyrics, and I want to just share with you a couple of the lyrics that was on there. It says, she's living in a world and it's on fire and filled with catastrophe. Now, when we think about this world with the economic climate that we're in, the uncertainty, the job losses, the global economy, the global wars and different things that's going on that are either in transit, that are actually happening and or are imminent. There's so much uncertainty out there, and it almost would make a person just kind of, instead of waking up in the morning, just don't wake up and keep the covers on our head all day long. I've heard some people say, I don't even watch the news. I don't like to watch the news. It's too depressing. We do need to stay aware of what's going on the world out there. But we also have to find out, where can I find a place in this world of catastrophe, in this world of uncertainty? Because guess what? You are not uncertain in God's eyes. You've just got to believe that you're not uncertain, that you're not a nobody, that there is value in you. You've got to decide, and you've got to find, you've got to dig deep. You've got to ask the who, what, where, why, and how, and figure out, how can I make an impact on this world? I'm constantly asking those kind of questions because I don't want to leave here. And I'm in the life insurance industry. I don't want to be buried, and I do want to be buried. I do want a traditional funeral. And in my obituary, or in statements by people who are going to say a few words on my at my funeral, I don't want a person to walk up and have absolutely nothing to say, that Helen never tried to make a difference. Helen never made a difference. That would be so sad. Think about it. We've got our jobs, and yes, you're making an impact on your jobs, but there are more things that perhaps that you can do and enhance your job, so that you're actually feeling like you're making a difference in somebody's life, versus just, oh, I'm going to job because I need to make money, I need to pay bills. I mean, is that a reason to just wake up in the morning and go to the job because I got to pay bills? I mean, all of us got to pay bills, but do you have purpose? Is there fire in you? Is there fire on the inside? Where is your mindset? Is your mindset positive or negative in the midst of catastrophe? Alicia Keys says this girl's on fire. No matter what, this girl is on fire. But she knows she can fly away. That's part of the lyrics. So with this catastrophe and all of these things that's going on in the lyrics, she says she knows she can fly away, which means she can get out of her comfort zone and go find her way so that she can make a difference. Now, I'm not sure if that's what Alicia Keys had in mind in these lyrics, but that's what resonates with me. So if you go back and listen to the lyrics in that song, that might be a way for you to rekindle that fire in you for a actionable strategy. Go back and find the lyrics to Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire. Read the lyrics with the mindset that, you know what? I want to realize that my mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. There is fire inside you. I want you to realize and recognize that it's there. I want you to find it. I want you to discover it. And sometimes you need other tools. So this message that I just shared, the who, what, where, why, and when, you can use that, incorporate that with reading the lyrics in Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire. And when you do that, you know what I want you to do? Send me an email to reset to reinvent@gmail.com and let me know what happened. Let me know what you discovered about yourself. Because going back to that obituary and people that will be talking at my funeral, yeah, I do plan on having designated individuals to speak at my funeral. Okay, for them to get up there and just kind of look at the audience and not have anything to say. Helen had no impact. She didn't even try. She wasn't intentional about making an impact on people's lives. Oh my gosh, that would just be so sad. Oh no, 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 no. And see, you can be broke. You can, and broke is a mindset. So we're not talking. We're talking about broke as in not having any money in the bank or having a minus in your bank account. You can still make an impact on somebody because guess what? Somebody is worse off than you are. Real talk. Okay. But you got to have a heart for people. You got to have a heart for wanting to serve. So, what are you doing to serve? Okay. So, I want to share with you as we look at closing this episode. Man, time just flies, doesn't it? So, there are some AI tools that I promised at the beginning of today's episode that I will share with you some AI tools that can impact your life. Now, keep in mind whether you want to, how about you want to start a business and you're like, I don't know what kind of business. You want to start this business part-time. Maybe you're retired now. You want something to do with your time where you can impact people. So check this out. You can go into Chat GPT because one of the things that it does, it says it can solve anything. So you go into that app and you just type in, let's say, you've got to think about, I think if you just typed in, how about this? Just type in, let's see, I would like to start a business. What would be a good business to start? What would be a good business to start in 2025? And just type that in. That's an AI tool, Chat GPT. Okay. I think a couple of times I've mentioned GBT and I didn't mean to say that. Chat GPT as in Patrice, my middle name, GPT. Go in and type that. What kind of business should I start in 2025? And see what happens. Oh my goodness, you're going to have so many choices. And then what you want to do after that, okay, you guys listening? What you want to do is look at the list and then narrow it down based on whatever your skills are, whatever your interests are. Go back to that who, what, where, why, and when. Why do you want to start a small business? When do you want to start a small business? Who is the business going to be for? You see how all of that ties in? But you got to have a fire inside of you to even get that started. So if that fire, which is in you, can be kindled or rekindled. Oh my goodness, you're onto something. You need to join my master class and I'm going to give you a whole lot more. I'm having fun with this today, guys. I'm going to give you a couple of more. What if you like taking, oh gosh, all of us. We have our smartphones, and we love to take pictures. We take pictures and then we upload it on social media or we share it with friends. We love to take pictures. Do you know there's some really cool things that you can do with AI tools? One of them is Pic, Wish, pickwish.com. What does that do? It edits photos fast. Okay. There's another one that deals with photos, fastphoto.io. What does that do? It creates AI headshots. Some of you want to, when you start your business, you want to have a new headshot to go on social media, to go on your website. Well, AI, which is a tool, remember AI, we want you to integrate this. We want you to embrace it. We want you to leverage AI tools so that you can do things quicker and have fun with it. So now I haven't used all of these different, I'm just sharing with you some examples of a whole lot of AI tools out there because I want to change that mindset. I want to help change that mindset so that you can embrace and not be left behind. So this is called, let's see, what did I say? Pickwish.com, edits photo fast. And then this one, create AI headshots, is fastphoto.ai. Okay, let's see. What if you're in the music industry? You like music, you sing, you're a musician. Well, there's you can create, you can learn how to create AI music. Now, I think I might want to try that just for the heck of it and see what that's about. Suno.com, suno.com, creating AI music. Guys, what if you like to write? Many of you are writers, and many of you don't realize, oh, here's another podcast. There's a book inside of you. Because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Most of us, depending on how old you are, you have a whole lot of stories, okay? Oh my gosh, I can write a lot of books on my stories, okay? But check this out. AI has a tool to help you create ebooks. It's called fastread.io. Fastread.io. It's a way for you to create ebooks. Some of you have said, Helen, and that's all the AI tools that I'm going to share in this week's episode. You can go and do some more research yourself. But I've had many people along the way that have said, Helen, man, I want to write a book and can you give me some pointers? And I give them some pointers. But now you can go into and use AI tools to help you write books faster than you ever dreamed. Unbelievable. And the thing about it with AI, I don't want you to think AI is doing all the work. AI is doing a lot of the work, but it still has to start with you. It still has to start with your positive mindset. It still has to start with you stepping out of your comfort zone and saying, you know what, let me give this a shot. Let me not do what Helen did several years ago when I just discounted the impact AI would have on the insurance industry and how it can help people in the insurance industry. I understand it now, but 2 years ago I was like, no big deal. That's because I was closed minded. And I'm typically not closed mind, but I was closed mind because I didn't understand and it seemed like it was complicated and it was techie in my mind. So I really dig deep into that whole concept last week. So you got to listen to episode 22 to get all of the details of how I went into that whole scenario as it relates to me not being not understanding the power of AI and not understanding that this isn't something to be afraid of, that it's not the boogeyman. Guys, it's a big world out there, and we just can't sit and not utilize that fire in us to make a world a better place. Make your world a better place. Start with your world. Start with you and your family. Start with you and your community. Start with you at your job. Start with you and your church, wherever. Don't just wake up in the mornings and say, oh, I'm going to my job because I need to pay bills. Time out for that. I mean, that's just like a waste. That's just like a waste because you cannot possibly be fulfilled with that type of attitude. And that's a negative mindset. Not negative in terms of paying bills, but just the mindset of, oh, that's why I'm going to my job because I got to pay bills, as opposed to I'm waking up so that I can make an impact on somebody's life. I want to make someone feel better. I want to make them laugh. I want to make them, I want to encourage them. I want to let them know that there is a better way and make an impact on somebody's life. That's what I want you to do today. Make an impact on somebody's life. Okay. So as we wrap up today's episode 23 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I want you to download this episode. I want you to share it with everybody that you know. Educate people on podcasting. A lot of people don't even realize there's so many platforms out there that a person, if they don't have an iPhone, for example, they can't get this episode. They can't get my episode on Apple Podcasts, but they can use the others. You know, we've got iHeartMedia. We've got so many other platforms out there. So share it with people. Okay. Share this episode, download it, share it. Let me know what you think. Share with me some of the strategies that you use with what I talked about today and how you were able to find that fire that's in you. I want to hear the success stories because I can talk about it in the next week's episode. And I'll even give you a shout out. Okay. Yeah. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. I'm so excited. But, we have a lot of things, a lot of great things coming up in the near future with this particular podcast, and I'm just excited about the opportunities. And so I want to leave you with the notion that there's fire in you, and I want you to find it. I want you to rekindle it. I want you to keep it on fire. I do want you to go back and read and study those lyrics of Girl on Fire with Alicia Keys. And it's going to be transformational. I promise you it will. Okay. So I want to thank you. Thank you so much for taking a listen, taking a watch to this week's episode of Reset to Reinvent. Why? Because you deserve to be inspired. Have a wonderful week.